afternoon, people. It is Wednesday, hump day. It is about 4:57, 77 degrees out. Kind of a cloudy day. No rain in the forecast though, but it's been off and on sunshine all day. What was my first call? Oh, I had to go to Kohl's on Atlantic Boulevard and troubleshoot one of their customer kiosks. These kiosks allow customers to, if they find an item in the store, but they don't like the color or the size, or it's just not in the store, they can use these kiosks to scan the item and choose what color, what size they want, and then pay for it and have it shipped directly to their house. So it's a pretty neat little kiosk. But this particular one has a sliding drawer on the bottom end of it that wasn't locking. It wasn't lining up properly, so I troubleshot that, and what it ended up being was the strike plate for the lock had come loose and slid out of position, so that when you turn the key, the locking mechanism wasn't engaging. What I ended up doing was taking the bolts out, or loosening them, sliding that strike plate back into place, tightening it as hard as I could, and tested it. Everything was working. Then there was a brief printer issue because they had a customer that wanted to use it. It wouldn't print a receipt, and troubleshooting that, turned out there was no paper in it, so no big deal there. That call was finished. I got back to the shop after that, and we have a customer over in Ponte Vedra that we do a lot of work for directly, not third party, so that's pretty cool. But we had a printer here in the shop that was theirs, and I went and returned it. And then they were talking about one of their PCs kept going to sleep, and while I was there I troubleshotted. It's all the power settings were the same as what I had set them to on a previous call, so that wasn't the issue. What was happening was it would boot up into the desktop, and about anywhere from like 2 minutes in to 5 minutes in, the entire unit would just shut off, which led me to believe that something with the processor, maybe the processor was overheating or something. So I called my boss and let him know that I was going to have to bring the PC back to the shop for my coworker to work on, because I didn't have any parts with me or anything to replace anything bad. So I brought it back to the shop, and my coworker looked at it, and he suspects that that building, which it is prone to, took a lightning strike, because there was a bunch of things that was malfunctioning in it, different errors and all that he was getting. So he'll figure it out, and hopefully we'll be able to get that PC back to this customer as quick as possible. As I was heading back from that customer in Ponte Vedra, I got a call from the boss. We have a Silver Springs Apartments, which is one of those apartment complexes, just like, same management company, just like Country Club Lakes. They were without internet. Their internet went down this morning sometime, and the boss was there troubleshooting it, and he needed some assistance, so I stopped by on the way back. And well, several months ago they did some renovations, and this company that currently manages them bought them out. So they were running on a circuit called Covad circuit. They had a Covad router and all that, and an 8-port switch that everything in the main office building connected to. There was no activity on the Covad, and I was sitting there scratching my head. It's like, why do they have Covad when their active circuit is AT&T, coming from an AT&T modem upstairs in that building? So when I got there, I saw what my boss was seeing, that Covad had no activity on it. I'm like, well, if they're using AT&T, why is the Covad there? So basically I came to the conclusion that they hadn't been paying that bill, and Covad finally caught on to it. They didn't need to pay the bill because they were no longer using that circuit. But Covad finally caught on to it and shut off the service. So I disconnected everything from the Covad router. We had to install another 16-port switch because there was all 8 ports on the 8-port switch taken up, plus like 5 or 6 on the Covad router. So switched everything over, made sure they could access the internet, print, switched everything over to the AT&T circuit, which is what they should have been, and that fixed everything. So yay for troubleshooting, thinking outside the box, basically. So yeah, not too bad calls today. They were simple, but just kind of all over the city. Tomorrow's, I've got 2 calls that are, again, all over the city. But for now, I'm headed home. Gonna get some rest. So I will talk to you later, and if I don't, I will talk to you all tomorrow.